how many students are there? ICT conference room on Logala campus. Any students there? This is interesting. Anything special going on in Fiji today? Ayesha, Ralph, what's going on?
Nothing.
So everything is normal over there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Another 3 minutes. At 10 past 5 we start.
Sir.
And who is that?
Alvindra.
Shalvindra?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And as more students come, just type in the chat because I need to keep a record of the number of students attending.
Okay.
And Ayesha is connected from home, and probably Ralph is connected from office. Ralph, are you there alone, or is Javed with you?
Alone.
Okay. All right. So we'll get started. This week we are looking at IT security and cybercrime. In fact, it should be cybersecurity and cybercrime, but the previous lecturer had IT security, and I thought it was going to be something different, but it is basically something similar as cybersecurity. So we are going to look at cybersecurity and cybercrime in this for today's lecture session, and I'll do a recap of a few lecture slides that I showed last week. I hope, yes, this lecture is being recorded, so that is good. And hopefully in time to come, others will join or will catch the video lecture broadcast. What I would like to indicate is that please do not rely on this, do not rely on the recording of this lecture or the lecture video. One of the reasons is that this recording becomes available after a few days. Okay, so it will not become available right after the lecture. It will become available after a few days. And then it takes a bit of time to get it up and running and organized and linking with the YouTube. So you would have noticed that I did see a request from a number of students requesting the lecture slides, not the video of the lecture to be uploaded, but I just couldn't. First of all, I couldn't get the video, and then it took me a very long time. And by the time I responded, was able to load it, was like Friday of last week. So please attend the lectures, attend live lectures, and do not rely on the video broadcast. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a PowerPoint presentation, and I will take you through that. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Before I move on, can everyone hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is no echo or anything?
No.
No.
All right, good. So I'm going to stop my video and start the slide. Can all of you see the slide?
Yes.
Can all of you see the slide now?
Yes.
Anyone?
Yes.
Aisha, can you see the slide?
Also,
Sharika,
Yes, same, Sharika. I can see the slide.
Okay.
same. I can't see the slide, Aisha. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to share it again.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see it now.
All right. Okay, and Sharika, you can see the slides as well, and Raf can see the slides. There is another participant, someone with the. Okay, Javed has joined in, and who's this student with S1109? It would be better if you register with your name. S1109, can you hear me? 1515. S11091515. Because what I'm doing is I'm taking attendance. Okay, let me just type a chat message to this guy. Guy or girl, I'm not sure. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, Sharika, I think your microphone is still not mute. Who's that? Your dog is crying, or is it a baby? ICT conference room, how many students are there now?
We are 3 here, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so 3, 6, 9, 10 participants, that's good. Mandeep?
Same. Reginald's father is in emergency, so he couldn't be in lecture today.
Yeah, I understand. He did send me an email, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Mandeep Singh is there. Okay, so far, and Shavinder Singh. So is there someone called Shavinder and is there someone called Shalvindra?
Sir.
Or am I getting your names incorrect?
No, we are 2 here. One is Shalvindra, one is Shavinder.
Okay, all right. Shavinder recorded. Okay, that's good. Okay, all right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 is good enough. Okay, we'll continue. And yeah, thank you. And others will join in. So moving on, we are looking at cyber security and cyber crime this week. As I was saying earlier, that this course outline and the topics to teach, I have inherited it from your previous course, and I was not allowed to change much in terms of assessments, in terms of course content, course outline. I did change as much as I could, but just because we were starting last minute, any changes to the course learning objectives, course content and assessments requires the Board of Studies approval, and we didn't have time for that. So I kept it as IT security and cyber crime, but while looking at it, IT security, probably there's not the appropriate term for that is cyber security and cyber crime, and that's what we are going to look at in today's lecture session. So moving ahead. Any questions from the last session, from the last lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please ask your question.
Okay, this is in regards to our project proposal.
Yeah.
We remember you mentioned we have to cite at least 10 journals for the proposal, right?
Yes.
So can we use those 10 journals in the research work again, or do we have to find other journals?
No, no, no. So you with the, what happens is that in your project proposal, you come up with the or you reference 10 journal articles, right? And then you will have to add another 15 in the final research paper. Your final research paper must have a minimum of 25 journals that are well cited and highly ranked.
Okay.
So you can use, I mean, the reason why these 10 journals have initially appeared in your research proposal is because they are very closely related to your research topic. And it will be probably reused in literature review, reused in the methodology, uh, uh, comparative analysis in the results and discussion and so forth. But for the uh, final research paper, minimum of 25 journal articles. Okay, thank you. Any other question? Okay, so moving on. Last tutorials were basically under the context of class activities. You presented on network management and mobility last week, and I had requested all of you to send me a PowerPoint presentations, and what I did was I made these PowerPoint presentations. I combined all your slides into one, and I've uploaded it on Moodle. Now, I'm surprised when I was looking at your PowerPoint presentations. Is there any particular reason why all of you are using landscape pages or landscape slides? I'm wondering. I mean, it is not wrong. It is not wrong, and a number of people do use landscape slides. But I'm wondering where you picked that up from, because I'm curious. I'm a student of USP as well, and at USP I learned how to make PowerPoint slides. But no one taught me about landscape slides, so maybe it is something good, and maybe it is something that I should also follow. I should also use. But I'm just curious as to what is the preference for landscape having landscape slides. Anyone?
I think it's because that's the default format with the new Microsoft PowerPoint. The widescreen option is the default now.
Oh, widescreen option. So I'm using, I'm still old school. I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint 2010.
Mhm.
And you guys are using the other one. And so by default, it is like that. All right, okay, no problems. Moving on, any questions about the case study? I'm still waiting for a number of you to pick up a case study topic. And the weeks are flying by. We are in the 5th week of our semester and 7th week of the USP semester. And after this Friday, you go on a break, isn't it?
Yes, not for us,
Yeah,
but
but no break for you guys. We are going to have another session next Tuesday just to catch up. So you can be on a holiday, you can go wherever you are going, you can be on the beach and just sit there and connect for 2 hours next Tuesday. All right. Any questions about the case study? Probably not. Any questions about the research paper? Any further questions? Most of you have requested for an extension and it has been granted. So I haven't started looking at or reading your research proposals. I plan to do it later, and by end of this week, I should, no, not by end, before next Tuesday, I should have responded to your research proposal and either given you a go ahead and start moving towards the writing the full research paper or proceeding with the research, or I will ask you to make some changes because I'm looking at certain things that a research paper should ideally have. So please bear with me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Say one question.
Yeah.
Is there any minimum requirement for journal citation on case study?
Minimum requirement?
I mean, is there any minimum journals do we have to cite for our case study as well, or we can use other research method?
A case study is basically a case study. I mean, if I have put some information on Moodle about a case study, if you want to tie it up with the by referencing research sources and things like that, you are welcome to do that, but there is no minimum requirement of anything, or you can do the entire case study without referencing any external sources, because most of the time the case studies are based on an organization's internal processes. But I would recommend, or I would strongly suggest that you do tie it up with some research papers or journal articles, but there is no minimum or minimum requirement or anything. Anything else?
All good, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. So moving on, as I've been going blah 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 for the last 3 weeks, we are going to have classes during mid-semester break, and that will allow us to catch up 1 week. And then before the semester ends, we'll catch up another week, and we will be all good. You know, the initial proposal was that I would come there. I will start face-to-face from week 8, and I will double up each week. And I was thinking, goodness, doubling up each week is maybe you students come on Tuesday, and we are there for 6 hours. That would be too much. Or I would call you on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I thought, why not try using this online method, which I think is quite convenient for most of you, as you are able to catch these lectures, catch these classes, and whatever we are doing from anywhere. And apart from that, I have attended a number of online courses, and I regularly attend webinars and conduct research seminars using platforms like Zoom, and we all can see that it is turning out to be educational technology being put to good use. So moving on, I have nothing else. Anything from any students? I can see you on. I can see the students in the ICT conference room because you guys are not able to disable your video. There are 4 students now.
Yes, sir.
Who's the latest addition? Who's that female there?
Rashna Lingam.
Okay. All right. So again, I'm going to repeat this course requirements of an active student. I'm checking when was the last time you assessed your course Moodle page. Most of you have selected a research paper topic. And you also need to select topic for assignment 1, that is your case study. Most of you have not done that. Attend online lectures and participate in lecture activities and tutorials. So It's all good. Most of you that are active are doing quite well. Course materials and resources on Moodle. What I have placed since last week, let me go and let me share your Moodle page. Where did that go? Here it is. I'm going to switch it to the view that you guys can see. Okay. Can you see the course Moodle page now? Can all of you see your course Moodle page now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And students from the ICT conference room?
Yes, we can.
All right. It's all good. Then that means everyone can. So what is new there? Okay. Jessica has just joined the ICT conference room. Let me record that. Good. Who is Reshma? Has Reshma joined as well?
Ashna.
We only have Rashna Lingam here.
Okay, there's someone called Reshma might have joined privately. Okay. Moving on, we'll find out. Rajneet has just joined. Right.
Yes.
Going back to the topics, you can see that under case study, there is these two documents, writing a case study, analysis in a case study. Go through that and look at it, because it explains how to write a case study, and the template is there for you to use, and how to do analysis in a case study. Analysis in the case study document also shows you how you can tie in whatever is happening in the organization with your conceptual learning, as well as into research papers. What you will see is under your research paper, I have added a new article. And this basically talks about theoretical and conceptual framework as mandatory ingredients of a quality research. What these authors write is that, and which I talked about earlier, is that if you are doing a research and if you use a theory, model, theoretical framework or conceptual framework to validate the findings and verify the findings of your research, then your research will be taken quite seriously. And you will, there's a possibility it will get published in very high-rank journals with high impact factors, and the citation index of your research will be really good. So do read this research paper, and the authors also provide advice on how you can go about doing that. And not only that, it also they also write how you can build up your research and build up your own theoretical and conceptual frameworks. Maybe at this level, I would not advise you to do that. But yeah, I mean, if you, for example, you've got a research topic and you cannot find any theory, model, theoretical or conceptual frameworks to tie it up to, then probably that is one of the way to go. Build one of your own. Apart from that, everything is fine. And week 2, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, what I did was right on top are my lecture slides, and then the presentations done by you, and then the recorded video of the lecture, and that's where we are. So I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint slides. Any questions before we start pre-looking at the slides?
All good, sir.
All good, okay. Just give me a moment. What I want to see is, again, do a roll call of the participants. So I have Aisha recorded, I have Rolf recorded, Javed I have recorded, Rajneet, yes, Ralph, yes. So this Reshma is Reshma Nath, isn't it? Reshma, you don't want to speak to me? I have nothing but been very nice. Or you have just connected and you are not watching this at all. You are probably watching a TV episode. What's going on there? Shortland Street? No, Shortland Street starts at 7 p.m., isn't it? So yeah, you'll finish in time. Okay, moving on. So what we are looking at today is cyber security, and we will look at some of the causes of cyber security, what people use to initiate attacks, how we can mitigate against them, and examples of what has been happening, and we will also look at what we can do, because nowadays there are two levels of, I mean, as individuals, we should be looking at two levels of defense. One is our own individual defense, because apart from using computers, at work, let's listen to this music for a while. Ralph, what happened? It was good music. Anyway, as I was saying that, so at home, we use our own desktops or laptops or our smartphones or our mobile devices. So first and foremost, we need to protect ourselves. Our organizations, our companies, our employers, or whoever we work for would not protect us, because they cannot. Protection, cyber security is an expense. It is not cheap. It is a major expense. So they would probably not bother protecting us at home on an individual basis. So first and foremost, we need to protect ourselves there. And then while we are at work, we are expecting that the organization will have its security policies in place and we will be well protected. And this is where things get a bit messy, or things get a bit controversial and starts slipping out of hands, because we like bringing our own devices to work. And while at work, we want to use these devices, and we want to connect to our corporate network to be able to access whatever social media we have on our smartphone. We want to check our Facebook. We want to access our emails. And so basically the concept of BYOD, bring your own devices. And this is where things get a bit tricky, because when you connect to your corporate network, and if there is any vulnerability on your own device, your corporate network becomes vulnerable as well. And therefore, you would see or you would realize is that many corporate organizations do not want you to connect your personal devices to the corporate network. However, most of us still do. So we have to be careful here. Or it could be the other way around. Individually, your device is well protected. You've invested in antivirus software, malware, and everything, and you are super strong at home. But when you take your device to work and connect it to the corporate network, your corporate network is weak, and there are exploits. It's vulnerable. So, as an individual, you will get affected. So, it is both ways. Therefore, the best or ideal situation is where both you as an individual and as a corporate user are well protected and are well secure. So we are going to look at the CIA model of information security. That is, information needs to be kept confidential, information needs to have integrity. That is, whatever information is there should not get changed by anyone, and information needs to be made available when it is required. We will look at cyber attacks and security threats that we need to mitigate against. Compromised intellectual property, quality of service, attacks through espionage and trespass, cyber hackers, attacks by social engineering, where we fall victims to scams or phishing, ransomware. And ransomware was one of the major viruses that was infecting computers last year. Program technologies for initiating cyber attacks, security management, your personal information security strategies, mitigating cyber attacks, information security controls, and security education, training awareness. So this is what is known as the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. So first of all, classification of information. Once you classify information, then you know how valuable it is and who should have access to such information, who is able to view such information, and what are they able to do with your information. In my earlier lectures, I think in my very first lecture, I said that information is very valuable. Information provides business intelligence, and business intelligence gives you or your organization a competitive advantage. So we do not want competitors getting hands on our information. Likewise, if we look at the country level, every country has its military information, military strategies, defense strategies. This we need to keep confidential as well, because if someone finds out or if someone gets such information, they will know what your weaknesses are. and your defense is not going to be that strong. Then the other one is to ensure that your information is kept confidential. You will need to have secure storage of documents and data. So, I mean, if you look at the old way of securing documents, we would keep it in a filing cabinet and we will lock the filing cabinet. And that was more secure than the electronic documents that we have, because that filing cabinet was physically in a place where only authorized people would be able to get near that filing cabinet. But now our electronic documents, we are saving it in public domain. For example, we are writing about ourselves, we are emailing documents, we are storing documents on the cloud, and everything is there. So we need to be very careful about storage of such documents, because anyone with appropriate skills and expertise will be able to bypass security and access those documents. The other one there on the slide is dumpster diving, both literal and virtual. I mean, this is what we would say is we often see in the movies, you know, when investigators go and try to investigate a criminal activity, murder, or whatever they are investigating. One of the things they do is they look in the rubbish bins, the dumpsters, because most of the time we throw things there, and these things can reveal a lot about who was there, or what they were doing, and what happened, or what was happening. And then there's the virtual dumpster diving. You know, I see a lot of people, they delete a lot of stuff, confidential stuff. But what they don't realize is that it is going into the recycle bin. And people can easily see what they have deleted and recover what they have deleted from the recycle bin. Okay, and nowadays technologies are there. Not nowadays, these technologies have existed for years. You know, if, for example, if you delete something from your hard disk, or if you delete something from your USB drive, if you delete anything from anywhere, there are software tools available to access them and to undelete them. So you have to be very careful about trying to remove a number of things. There is, I mean, talking about security, talking about antivirus, I use McAfee Antivirus Plus. So this McAfee Antivirus Plus gives me a tool where they allow me to shred a document or a file. And when a document or a file is shredded, like basically shredding paper documents into tiny pieces, it is difficult to recover those. Having and applying security policies, agreeing to what we value, it is a requirement for many organizations to have security policies. And as I said earlier, that security is not cheap. The more things that needs to be protected, the cost rises. So you have to agree that what you are going to protect, or what is of value, and how you are going to protect that. There has to be a company-wide agreement, a management agreement, because you can say, yeah, I'm going to protect everything. But sometimes what happens is protection turns into a nightmare, and when you are trying to access something, you cannot access it, or someone else is trying to access something, they cannot access it. And then you have to go back and redo all your policies and rewrite all the authorizations. So first and foremost, what you do is you need to agree on what you value, and then you need to define security policies for it. In many organizations, the network administrator or the IT supervisor, whoever looks after the network, the security policies will start off with deny all. Okay, so this is the safest start. You deny access to everything. And then based on requests, you look at each request in detail. For example, as the network administrator, I have denied access to all users to everything. And then a user comes and tells me that he or she needs access to the employees' information and the database. So I will do it on a case-by-case basis. So where is the request coming from? And does this user need access to the employee database? And then I will check with his boss, I will check with the other top management, and then I will say, okay, I'm going to allow access to it. And from now onwards, anyone with this particular designation in the organization will have access to it. So, like you have on your own Windows computers, you have users, you have administrators, you have super users and others, and certain people can do certain things. And when you add a new account holder to your computer system, you can designate whether he or she is going to be a limited user, guest user, or administrator, and so forth. The other thing is you need to educate everyone about keeping information confidential, okay? Because within your network, an uneducated user is your weakest link. And then finally, whatever information you have it encrypted, so that even if people, or even if someone is able to access it or steal it, it is not easy for them to decode it or decrypt it for usage. Next one is availability. Needs to be available to those that need it and denied to those that don't. And nowadays, since most of our information is placed on with cloud computing service providers or in the cloud, we need connectivity. We need to be able to connect to the information as and when required. And that's why attacks like denial of service attack or distributed denial of service attacks are so damaging, because it makes the information unavailable and it denies connectivity to anyone trying to connect and access those information. That's what I was telling about. Denial of service and distributed denial of service. So let me explain that a bit further. When you talk about denial of service, for example, okay, let me stop here and ask, have I explained this before?
No, sir.
I haven't. Okay, so denial of service simply means is getting information, blocking others from accessing information from a website or from a web service. Let's say, for example, let's say, for example, there's this certain website that is providing information, and they're not providing this information for free. You have subscribed to the website, and thus you are able to get access to the information. So the information provision is based on a profit-making model. And what I do is, this is how requests for web pages or websites operate. When I type, for example, www.usp.ac.fj, or I Google it and click on the link to get to usp.ac.fj, a request goes from my web browser to USP's web server to respond to my request. Now, this sending request and responding to request involves a number of things happening in the background, and some of them are authentication, some of them are looking at where my connection is coming from and all those things. But the web servers have no other alternative but to respond. So next, what I do is I send hundreds of requests to this web server, and now it is processing hundreds of responses. It's become busy, and then I send another few hundreds. So what it is doing, it is busy responding to my hundreds of requests. It is responding, and it so happens that it is only busy with me, and therefore others that are trying to send requests does not get any response, and therefore the information or the service that the others were supposed to get, they're not able to get it. It's a simple example of denial of service. And then you can take it a bit further, which is distributed denial of service. This is where the botnets operate, or what they call in the other terms, zombie computers. So this is what it looks like. For example, if your computers are not very secure, and let's say I send a spam email around, and you click on the link of that email, and in that link I'm saying that if you want to do this, if you want to watch these movies, you install this codec, or if you want to listen to this music, you install this player. So yes, you want to watch the movie, you want to listen to the music for free, you don't want to pay for it, so you get greedy and I screw you up. When you click on the link, and when the so-called codec or movie player or music player is getting installed, at the same time I also install a small program on your hard disk, and you have no clue about it. And I use this small program to take control of your PC. And I can take control of your hard disk, I can take control of anything. So if I had sent that spam email to, let's say, 10,000 people, and out of that I managed to fish out 500 of them, and they clicked on the link, and my program got installed on these 500 different computers, I have total control of these 500 different computers, and they are like my zombie computers. I can control them. The user has no idea. The owner of that computer has no idea. So this is where the distributed denial of service comes in. Now I want to do the same thing that I was doing individually. I want to deny anyone else being able to access a particular website. So from my computer system, I will take control of these 500 computer systems. And from these 500 computer systems, I will send hundreds of requests to a particular website. And that particular website will be responding to my request, and it will get so overwhelmed, the chances are it might crash, or the chances are no one is able to access it for hours or days. Next one is integrity, completeness of the information. For example, if you do not know your complete username and password, you cannot log into your user accounts. If you forget your PIN, you cannot do banking and things like that. Ensuring that data does not get corrupted, either by accident or deliberately. Trusting that whatever has been sent is the same that is being received. And a number of software, a number of apps do different things to ensure that whatever was sent, the same has been received. Algorithmic mechanisms like checksums, hash values, and error correcting codes ensure the integrity of the data and ensure that whatever has been sent is the same that has been received. Therefore, one of the things that happens is that when I'm sending an email to you, if someone intercepts it along the way and adds something to the email, when it gets to the sender, there will be a check about what was sent and what has been received. And just because it has been intercepted and something has been added, the checksums or hash values don't add up, don't match. And therefore, the email will either be classified or moved to the junk folder, classified as spam, or your antivirus software will pick it out and saying that do not open this email or something like that. Then there are cyber attacks. I do not need to say much about that because we all know what it is. And then there are, vulnerabilities in the operating systems as well as the application software that we use. For example, every now and then there Microsoft, if you're using Microsoft Windows as your operating system, before what would happen is that you would have to download it and you had to execute the file to apply the patches. But now, since most of us are connected, it happens automatically, and Microsoft takes care of applying patches and fixing things up. So most of the time, cyber attacks happen because someone is able to identify vulnerabilities in the system. And one of the reasons why we leave or we have such options, or we want to have these exploits or vulnerabilities is because as legitimate users, we want to be able to do legal upgrades and access users' computers legally and do a number of things. And Microsoft was doing this left, right, and center. And in fact, many users were not very happy about Microsoft being able to access the computers as and when they wanted, update things and install programs and do a number of things. So slowly it has moved away from it, but still it is still very much in control of its own operating system. And later on you will see that, within a corporate network, most network administrators want to be able to access the user's PCs remotely, to be able to do things, to be able to fix things, to be able to update things, apply patches, and a number of other things. which is good from the administration purposes. However, the hackers use the same access to hack into people's computers and do whatever they want. So these are the types of attacks in a computer system. You can see that data or information is being transmitted from point A to point B. So in a normal flow of data or information, there is nothing. It is a normal flow. Then there is interruption. So the data is blocked or something is done to the data. It is interrupted. It does not reach its intended recipient. Then there is interception. The receiver will get the data, will get the information, as well as it will be intercepted by someone, and he or she will get the same information. Next is modification. So someone intercepts, modifies, and sends it to the receiver. And finally, it is a fabrication. We call it spoofing. Okay, you get information from someone purporting to be me, and you think, oh, this email is from Sam, this information is from Sam. Let's use it. Let's click on the link. We trust him, and that's where you become vulnerable. Okay, I'm going to do this slide, and then we take 5 minutes break, and then we'll continue for the next 40 minutes. Software development is often part of the issue. So, I mean, I'm sure most of you are aware of this, as you must have done software development courses in your undergraduate degree. And one of the requirements or one of the best practices is to build security while developing the software. Okay, so many software development projects will see security as a design issue, and it will build security within and while developing the software. And the graphic there gives an indication of how you can build security within the software development life cycle. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and take 5 minutes break. I suggest you guys do the same, and I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Ralph, we can see you.
Can see me now.
Okay, let's move on. Let's continue. But before I do that, any questions or comments? Did anyone new join the ICT conference room on Lodala campus?
We have 2 new members here, but I think they have already signed it on the chat box there.
Yeah, that's Rosarina and Asali.
Yes,
right.
that's us.
Yeah, okay. Is there anyone connected from the postgraduate lab in Lotoka campus? No? Okay, so we'll continue. It took me a bit long. I'm sorry about that. The water was not boiling fast enough for a cup of coffee, so I haven't had time to haven't had time to drink it. So now and again, I will stop and have a sip of it, and as we continue. So moving on. Before that, any questions or comments?
So, sorry, question on the slides or question for the research paper?
Questions of the slide, of the research paper, any question at all?
Okay, we do have a question for the research paper we were discussing during the break.
Yeah,
The literature review part.
yeah.
The question is, do you want us to like sort of summarize the journals or the articles that we find? And if so, how many do we need to?
Okay. In your research proposal, you will have 10, and in the final paper, you will have 25. Now, out of these 25, all of them will not appear in the literature review. Literature review will only contain references and information about journal articles that are similar in topic to your research topic. So there you might reference 1 or 2 articles in the introduction of your paper, in the background of your paper, and you might reference a few journal articles in the results, in the methodology, the discussion, conclusion of your paper. Basically, literature review would be you reading a journal article, writing down what it has done, what it found, and then you will add your own understanding of it, or you will add your own comments to it, or you will add your own statement to it. So it's a mixture of these 3 that would come in a literature review paragraph. So you would take a journal article, and this is how you will write one of the paragraphs in the literature review. So let's say, according to Gounder S 2016, the adoption of mobile cloud computing in Fiji and the Pacific Islands is still in its infancy stage, probably because of the reason many organizations have not invested in such technology and are still cautious about putting information, putting the data up in the cloud and things like that. The author of this article, of Gounder S 2016, concludes that in time to come, as more and more organizations move their services and adopt mobile cloud computing, others will follow suit. And then you add 1 or 2 sentences of your own understanding of that journal article and how it is related to your paper. So you might say, maybe you are doing research on mobile cloud computing as well. You might say, but or the findings. Goodness. You might say that the findings from Gounder and others were focused on the adoption of the technology, but our research is going to focus on something else. Okay. If next time that phone rings, I'm going to take the call and see who is trying to bother me. Okay, hold on.
You can pick it if it's your wife.
Sorry about that. Those are the people from my current university trying to, get information of how they are going to survive without me when I'm gone. Anyway, I was talking about the literature review of how to write a paragraph of literature review. And I'm assuming the question was asked by Rosarina.
Right.
And was I able to answer that adequately?
Yes, I think everyone here is satisfied. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question in regards to anything about this course?
Yeah, there's just one more question from here. How long? How long should the literature review be?
So what I'm expecting is, sometimes you would see that at least a paragraph of not more than 6 or 7 lines for each journal article. And sometimes you will see that 3 journal articles will be on the same concept, will be on the same theme, or will be on the same area of research. So what you do is you include all of them in the same paragraph. Any further question to that? Not clarified enough?
Thank you. Yes, we're good.
Okay. All right. So yeah, moving on. Next slide. Types of security threats to mitigate. I mean, it's always been a cat and mouse game, and it will always remain a cat and mouse game. That is, the mischievous mouse does something and the cat chases. Always the viruses will come first and antiviruses will follow. Always the exploits, the vulnerabilities will be hacked first, and then there will be patches. Always someone will discover some loophole in a software, and they'll exploit it, and then the software company will patch it up, because it is like that. If criminals don't exist, there's no need for police. If students don't exist, there's no need for us. If viruses don't exist, there's no need for antiviruses. So it will always remain a chasing game. And antivirus companies can do a lot and can be proactive, but now and then there comes a virus that no one has heard about. For example, last year we had the ransomware virus called WannaCry, and the virus would encrypt everything and lock your desktop, saying that your data has been encrypted and you need to pay this much in bitcoins to this place, and then we will release your data. So it is always going to remain a cat and mouse game, and it will always be viruses comes, then we write antivirus for it. There is exploits, then we patch it up. There is loopholes that is used to hack into our system, and then operating systems like Microsoft and others will patch it up. This is what I've talked about. We can mitigate threats, but we can't eliminate them completely. But still, we can have a very useful and secure information system. Some of the things that you might have read or come across would be things like Trojan horses, malware, worms, spyware, spam, adware, and last year I had this malware, and no matter what I did, every time I started my internet browser, this particular website became my homepage. And I have McAfee Antivirus Plus, which I think is quite reputable and strong antivirus. It couldn't get rid of it. I removed my Internet Explorer and did all the upgrades and patched it up again, installed it again, still the same. So I had no other option but to install a malware to get rid of it. So nowadays, the security threats comes in many forms. Some of them are harmless, like adware, will only give you, will show you advertisements, or will track your buying shopping habits. And then they spam, which most of the time will go to a spam folder. And most of the time we don't open, but if we do click on the link, because we are greedy, and someone from Nigeria is offering us $5 million US, then we are asking for trouble. The spyware, again, you can look at it. You can look at the spyware in two different ways. One is that spyware that is spying on your internet usage, which websites you visit, what you buy, what you browse, and so on. And the other one is spyware to actually spy on your computer systems, or actually hack into someone's WhatsApp, Facebook, to know what two people are chatting about, and things like that, and to see the entire activity on a person's mobile device, laptop, or computer system. Then there's malware that I gave an example about. And then there are Trojans. Trojans are simply programs that seem innocent enough, but they are not. In the background, they are doing something else. Okay. So what we are going to look at some threats to cybersecurity and information security. The very first one is nature and human nature. So natural disasters like fires, floods, earthquakes, tsunami, cyclones, hurricanes, etc. And you can see right beside over here, you can see a number of savers being destroyed in the flood in the Sichuan province earlier this year. And we are looking at billions of dollars of servers, because the reason why I know this is that I was following this news because these servers were used to do blockchain mining. At the moment, my current area of research, a very hot area of research, is blockchains and cryptocurrencies. And I had read about this news that there was flooding in the Sichuan province in China, and these billions worth of servers that were used for blockchain mining and creating bitcoins got destroyed. And then other natural disasters we are well aware of. And then there is human errors, like you losing your mobile phone somewhere, or you forgetting your laptop anywhere, whatever data in that is gone, or you losing your USB drive or hard disk. Errors in processing, again, garbage in, garbage out. Accidental deletion, spam emails. Social engineering is basically, this phishing scam. All of a sudden you receive a request on your Facebook, someone wants to be your friend, and you are excited, you accept the friendship, and then after some time they say, oh, they're in trouble and they need some money, or sometimes someone will hack into your friend's Facebook account. This has happened to me a number of times, and they will say that, oh, I'm in Mexico and all of my stuff has been stolen. Can you please give me 500 US dollars so that I can buy my air tickets and get out of here, or something like that. So you've got to be careful, because these are all ways of social engineering where they will try to get information out of you, like your user accounts and things like that, or get money out of you. But if you look at the cyber security attacks or cyber attacks, cyber crime, almost 95% of it is because there is an intention for a monetary gain. Someone is trying to get something from you. The other 5% is just people doing things for fun, or people taking revenge, or people just trying to get rid of, like, ex-employees trying to show their expertise and skills and trying to bring the ex-company's server down, or things like that. The other form is compromised intellectual property. I'm not sure, but over here in Malaysia, no one really cares if you download movies, music, software, or whatever. This is a free country in terms of this. And that is one of the things I love about being here in Malaysia, because, to be honest, I never buy any DVDs or Blu-ray or whatever. If I want to watch a movie, I just use one of the torrents and I download it. Or I go and watch a movie in the theater. So, however, there is problems with that, because in these intellectual properties, whether it is music, movie, free software, whatever, whoever provides it to you can put in their own small program. When you install or when you run, that program will get installed, and that person will be able to control your computer system, and your computer will become a zombie computer, will become part of a botnet. Okay, so there is digital piracy, intentional, accidental, or ignorance. Most of the time it is intentional. No one wants to pay nowadays for anything. And then there's end user license agreements. It's generally ineffective, because I buy, let's say, a software and I install it, and then I give it to you, you install it, or I make a copy of it and give it to someone else. And then there's what they call the crippleware. So they will let you install the program, and they will let you use it, let's say on a 30-day trial, and after that, you must register and pay for it to continue using it. And within the 30 days, you like the software, you get hooked onto it, and you end up paying. Or there is two versions of it. One is the full version, which operates and all functionalities are available. And the other one is a crippled version where only a few functionalities go. Now, cloud computing mitigates some of these issues because any services provided by the cloud ensures that these services are secure. Quality of service, again, in terms of internet provision, the service level agreements, multi-homing, that is, if you cannot connect through one router, then you are routed to the other one, and there will be multiple ISP service providers. If one is down, the other one will provide support. Infrastructure, again, the whole internet or network infrastructure gets destroyed because of natural disaster, because of power failure, or because of not proper energy or power supply. Then there is espionage and trespass. There is some legal espionage, legal collection of data on usage, mostly okay until cool becomes creepy. For example, we all know, or if you don't, let me tell you, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and all other social media, they are collecting data on us. They are collecting our browsing habits. They are collecting what we like, what we don't like. They are looking at what we browse for, the keywords that we enter, the videos that we watch, the websites that we go to. And all this they are collecting because they either want to sell something to us or they want to profile us. Then there is industrial espionage, gathering data without consent or permission, shoulder surfing, simply looking on top of someone's shoulder to see what they're doing on the desktops, on the computers. And most of the time, nowadays people are very open about it. You are sitting on a bus, someone else comes and sits beside you and is chatting on social media with the girlfriends or boyfriends, and they don't care, you can read. Okay. The other one is skimming, that is, spoofing and getting information or just browsing through to see what is going on. And then there is this issue about CCTV surveillance being installed all over the place in a number of towns and cities, and everyone is under surveillance. So if something should happen, all you need to go and do is look at the video recordings of that particular day and time. Oh, there was this Stuxnet virus back in 2011, and it is claimed that the Stuxnet virus was developed by the United States Department of Defense, and this virus would sleep, would not be active, would not get activated, would not take any action until it found that it was in a nuclear enrichment facility. And there were certain signatures that it was looking for that would indicate to it that, oh, I'm within a network of a nuclear enrichment facility. And this Stuxnet virus almost crippled Iran's nuclear reactors and nuclear power. So, viruses are not only work of crooks or criminals. Governments organizations, ministries, departments, defense and military, they get involved as well. And you must have all heard about this company called Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica was paid by the Russian government to create almost 8,000 fake Facebook accounts during the US elections in which Donald Trump won. And these fake Facebook accounts were feeding information. They were actually behaving like real accounts with real username and passwords, names of real people, profiles of real people, addresses, and so forth. And they were on a daily basis feeding positive information about Donald Trump and negative information about Hillary Clinton. And you know, anything on social media has this snowball effect. If I post it to you, you will post it to your hundreds of friends. Your hundreds of friends will post it to another hundreds and another hundreds to another hundreds. And in a few short hours, it's almost the entire population. So it was investigated and they appeared before the Cambridge Analytica is a company out of UK, England, and they appeared before the House of Commons and they pleaded guilty. And now this company does not exist anymore. But the damage has been done. Donald Trump is the president. Then there are insider threats, employees and ex-employees, contractors, system vendors, interested organizations, government agencies, business associates. So the other thing is, you know, you can have a very good external defense and no one from outside can do anything. Cannot penetrate your network or cannot create any cyber attacks. But what about from inside? Have you been able to defend yourself? Are your employees educated enough? Is there any disgruntled ex-employee? You know, a number of them do, especially if they are in the IT department. They know where the databases are. They know where the critical information is. Before they leave, they either delete it or they either copy it and take it to the competitors. Then there are contractors, that is outsiders, can you trust them? System vendors. This was what I told earlier about bring your own devices, okay? Insiders are not always crooks, you know, I mean, they can inadvertently give information which they find is not to be trivial. For example, you ask someone in the organization how many employees are there, and they will tell you, oh, we have this many employees. To them, the information is trivial, it's of no value, but to someone else, it is very valuable. Okay. In other terms, social engineering is, you know, people try to find someone in a particular organization, make friends with them, and start asking them questions, start getting information. I mean, it's just a normal conversation. No one has any idea. This information will be collected and analyzed, and what will be done with it. Then you lose data and you do not report, or you do not make it known that data has been lost. Bring your own devices is another problem. And then, you know, I mean, you want to be able to connect to your office PC from home or from remotely, and then to be able to connect, you need to leave some ports open. And it is good you are able to connect, but if the hackers find out that these ports are open, they will also connect. Then you have cyber hackers or hackers. It's your opinion. whether you call them genius because they are able to do that, they have so much computer knowledge, they have so much knowledge about the network, they are extreme programmers, or you can call them that they are deranged and they're criminals, or they're mentally unstable, whatever you call them, that's your definition. Okay. Again, are they crooks or are they crusaders? Sometimes they do it for a cause. There was a case where the students from North Korea hacked into the Sony is a movie company, to the Sony's website and wrote something, because the Sony movie company made a movie about North Korea. I cannot remember the name, but it was about this guys going to North Korea. I can remember one of the actors. His name was Seth Rogen. They went to this movie shows that going to North Korea and doing a number of things and showing North Korea in a very bad state, or being comical about it. And that's
The
why
interview.
The interview, yeah. So movies like that, and people get angry and they start doing things. Then there's state-sponsored hacking. China is always trying to hack into and get information from the Pentagon. US is also trying to do the same. And there's this script kiddies, that is scripts written to do a number of things, scripts written to steal information, steal money, activism, tree huggers, or save the animals, save the whales. Then there's organized crime, where people are selling credit card information and then selling it on. Terrorism, the hacking exists as an industry. And these are mitigated with strategies such as you harden your system, you do penetration testing, and time and again you are testing, because you do not know where the exploits are, you do not know where the vulnerabilities are. There are human factors as well. Social engineering I've talked about. Advanced fee fraud, like the Nigerians came, this princess left you millions of dollars, and to be able to transfer these millions of dollars in your account, I need to pay the transaction processing fee. Please send me 100 US dollars and I'll send you 500 million US dollars. Then there's phishing and spear phishing. Phishing is just trying to get information, trying to make contact and see if people will react, or people will buy into this free gifts that you are offering, or people will buy into this free link that you are offering, or free software that you are giving. And then there's spear phishing, that is, you know exactly whom you are going to target. Recently, there has been a number of cases over in Malaysia where, these Malaysian women, they create the profile online to look for partners, because these Malaysian women, they would like to migrate to countries like US, UK, other places in Europe, Australia, and so forth. So a number of them have been scammed by, these fake profiles, where they say that they are romantically involved, but they are serving in the US Army in Afghanistan, and they will have to leave. They really want to come to Malaysia and be with the woman over here. But to be able to leave, they need to pay for the air tickets and so forth. And if the woman can be kind enough to give them some money for the air tickets, and yes, the women are kind enough. Then there is pre-texting, making friends or texting someone saying that I'm so and so from your help desk, and I would like you to do this, I would like you to do that, I would like to get this information before I'm able to provide these services for you, and so forth. And then there is extortion, scams, ransomware, and all that. Okay, so this was very common last year. Maybe not that much in small island countries like Fiji, but it did hit over here, Malaysia as well. And this is how things happen. Okay, you could get an email from your boss, and then this is someone that has spoofed your boss's email address. And your boss is telling you to click on this link because he wants you to be able to check this out and give him some information. And it looks all good. So you click on the link. When you click on the link, it takes you to a particular web page. I mean, how hard it is to make web pages, and everyone has HTML coding schemes, or you can just take a screenshot of the page and paste it somewhere. But you are actually on a hacker's web page. And as soon as you connect, the server starts scanning your machine, looking for known exploits. And if you are not protected well, a small program will be downloaded onto your hard disk and it will be installed. Then from there, it clears the way to start changing and encrypting your entire system. And then after a while, you see this message. And then you know you are done. Okay, I'm going to stop there. It's already 5 minutes past 7 over there. And we'll end this with any final questions or comments.
No questions, sir.
No question? Yeah.
When are you coming to Fiji?
I'll be there on 3rd September.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No, I'll be getting there earlier, but officially I start on 3rd September. That is a Monday of week 8. What, do you want to come and receive me at the airport?
Yeah, bring 2 duty free.
Bring what type of students have you become? You should bring things for your teacher. You guys should be there at the airport with the garlands and
Fiji government treats that as a bribery.
No gift for teachers.
No gifts for teachers.
No gift for teachers?
That's like a bribery. Only gift for students.
Only gift for students. Oh, it's the other way around. My God, USP has changed so much, huh? There was a time where we as lecturers at USP was, treated very well. Yeah, it's the other way around. Anyway, I'm sure at the end of the course, I will have some duty free for you guys. We'll have a party or something.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other question? No, then that's it. We are done for the day. Thank you for attending. And if there is anything, send me an email. And please be patient. I'm going to look at your research proposal. I'm going to respond. There is a lot of things going on, and I have I leave Malaysia within another 7 days, so a lot of things are going on the other side. I'm trying to get logistics right, pack up, and I have to ship a number of cartons of books that I've acquired. So it's all these are taking time, but we'll get there. Don't worry. All right.